Oh, family. It's good to be here this evening. Sorry, my microphone was muted. All right, welcome, everybody. That means you didn't hear all the things that I said. Welcome, Mr. Purpose. Welcome, Mr. Bolu Atife. Welcome, Alex. That's ATJ Shoes. Welcome. So if you can hear me, please, can you just give me a feedback? Okay, fantastic. Is it clear? So if you can hear me, just put it in the comment box, loud and clear, loud and clear. Tell us where you're joining from. I'm so glad to be here tonight with you, and I believe that tonight is going to be another edition that is going to spur us towards greater level of productivity and performance. And just like we've been doing for a while now, we've been bringing thought leaders, successful entrepreneurs, people who have walked the talk, people who have blazed the trail, and we are trying to capture their success story, and including part of their success story is also to tell us their failure story, because every success story is also a great failure story. Okay, so we are expecting more people to join. Please, let's tell the people on the community page we are live already. We are live. Please share this video, share this link, share this video with your friends. Share with your friends. Share. Put it on your Instagram story. Put it on your WhatsApp. Just paste the link. We are live. So we're going to be having Yemi Kings today. Yemi Kings is a luxury photographer based in Lagos. It was the recent winner in the category of photography, the feature award project that was just concluded just a few days ago. So we are privileged to have him this evening. So while I'm waiting for him to join the meeting, I would like you to engage me very well. I like to engage. Please engage, guys. Engage. Great. Okay, so while we're waiting for Yemi Kings to join us, once again, welcome to the Business of Your Gift show. And like I said earlier, we are focusing on stories of entrepreneurs. So we are We are focusing on stories of successful entrepreneurs, and I strongly believe that when people share their story and their experiences, there are a few things that we can learn. There are a few things that we can apply, to our own lives. And I strongly believe that this is going to be an amazing. It's going to be an amazing session. It's going to be an amazing session. It's going to be an amazing session. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I really, really do appreciate you. And for everyone that have been consistent since we started, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. The feedback has been amazing. All right, the feedback has been amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like you to just help me share this. Let's get this, let's get this to more people. Let's get this to more people. Let's get this to more people. Please do that for me, guys. And please tell us where you're joining from. Just tell us where you're joining from. Tell us where you're joining from. Put it in the comment section and I will get it right there. Okay. Fantastic, 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 fantastic. Waiting for Mr. Yemi Kings. We're not going to wait for anybody. I hope I'll be able to make the replay available for us. Tell us where you're joining from. I'm so excited today because I like story. Okay, Yemi Kings is live with us. I'll be bringing him right away. Okay. Share this video. Share. Okay. What is going on? I've accepted the request. I've accepted the request. The video should come up now. What's going on here? Did you get the? I'm trying to bring you up now, but I'm not getting a feedback. Okay. Fantastic. Origami. Origami. Make I call drop my account number.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Great to have you
Great to
on this
have you too.
call.
Th- Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for having me. The honor is mine. Um, um, I actually had to um, make sure that I'm here with you tonight because it's been a very busy day. I'm in the midst of one production, and we are actually, we're live on set, as you can see. So, so
I
if
love
I
that.
get to run off, so
Yeah.
if I have to, I have to take excuse. So if I have to run off anytime, I trust you understand. So let's spend every minute as if
Let us
it's the
get
last.
back to
So
it. I don't mind.
yeah,
Please,
let's
people
get straight
just
to it.
I don't mind. We may have to maybe schedule another meeting, but at least let's do something tonight because I know that so
All
many
right.
people are. Okay. So welcome. So like you said, those of us that are just joining, I have Yemi Kings live. Please, Yemi King, nobody should nobody should enter my DM. That I should send money to them. Yemi King is a big man, and it's a privilege to actually have him on this platform. And of course, these are the kind of people that would like to have on this platform. So we're just
All
going to
the glory
be
to God. All the glory to God.
sharing basically what I'm interested in, what we're interested in this show is actually the how, all right? The what you went through, the failures, your journey, the lessons. I know we'll not have all the time to go through it, in details because you actually have a work now in the middle of work, but just tell us, how you got started. I know that you're a multi-talented person. I know you can play drums. I know that you can play keyboard and you are pretty good at it. I know you're good at comedy. I know that you can even sing. And now you're into, photography and all of those things. So just tell us, how did you come to discover photography as your area of relevance today? So I think we should just start from there.
Well, I think there's a scripture that says, "Trust in the Lord, and He shall direct your path." So my journey into photography wasn't a calculated one. I want to believe that it was ordained by God, because there's really no accident in the lives of children of God. So I've said this story countless times. It so happened that I was on campus, and I did a lot as a student. I tried to explore as many creative options as I had, from dance to theater to film to radio to fashion to
Yeah.
textiles, name it. Uh, but I struggled academically a lot on campus, because it was a period where I was, just trying to find myself and winging it at the same time. So, you know, to cut long story short, the extra year came, and I felt like, you know what, um, maybe photography isn't such a bad idea to, explore this time around. And I told my fiancée then, my wife now, and she was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And she really gave me this big encouragement to go into it. And I was like, okay, fantastic. So if I'm going to go into it, I'm going to have to learn from the best, because it's a mantra that I have. Whatever it is I want to learn, I learn from the closest best to me. I mean, who is best at it that is closest to me. So I ask questions around, and from my friends that have done photography that have graduated, they all directed me to a man named architect Olakunle Akintanewa, who is also known as Full House. And fortunately enough, tonight I'm actually on this production with him. He's the executive producer of this production. So I'm more like assisting my Oga this evening. So I learned from him, and then I think I was with him for like 2 years. So for me, it wasn't like a workshop or a training, it was an apprenticeship system that we ran. Do you understand? And so it was much more intense than what we have nowadays. So I was there. So the 2 years that I spent on campus, for my extra year, I was majorly in the studio learning photography. And then I graduated. I spent about another year in Lagos, doing apprenticeship for two different masters. Spent 6 months here, 2 months in a place, and then another like 8 months in another place. And from there, I went for my NYSC, and I had the whole year to practice because I was serving in the north, and I was the CRK teacher. So I only had like class once a week. So I had the entire NYSC to myself to, sharpen my photography skills. And I believe everything was ordained by God. So coming back to Lagos, God decided to announce Yemi Kings. And, almost 9 years down the line, we're still here.
Wow, wow, wow. So, wow, wow, that's great. I wanted to ask something about, when you had an extra year. Is there any way you can say that actually contributed to some of the things that you're doing today? Were you discouraged at some point? How did you navigate that season?
Well, for me, it was actually a very dark season. It was a mixture of excitement about, this new thing that I've fallen in love with, and also the depressive state of, oh, my friends have graduated, my junior colleagues have met me in part four. Do you understand? I mean, the students that came in into part two as direct students met me in part four, and these are students that I did freshers welcome for in our fellowship. So catch them young, you know. And then they met me in part four. These are so some of them will be like, "Oh, guy, are you still around?" Then the bashing I was getting from my lecturers, the disappointment I was having from my parents. I mean, so it was not really a pleasant period, and I was still struggling with the courses, by the way. So it wasn't like a full ride, but photography for me, got me totally engaged, and I thank God that I was able to stick with it, and came to at the end of the tunnel.
Wow. Wow, that's great. So, say that you finished with a first class or something, would you have gone to photography? Let us probably
If I finished with a first class,
the
I'm
time that you're supposed to
sure.
finish. Okay.
If I finished when I was supposed to have finished, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. But it's possible that I'm not doing photography. It's very possible. But I'm sure I would have been in the creative industry. I'm sure I would have been a creative entrepreneur. And I'm sure I boast in the Lord that I would have been one of the best in whatever it is I choose to do.
Yeah, I like that. I like
But it
that.
might not have been
So let us take
photography.
the conversation. Yeah, you said something profound because one major thing I want to ask you is that what did you? I know that you learned. I know that. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Right. So I love what you said. You said that one of your major principles was actually to learn from the best, at least the best that is closest to you. All right. Because one of the things I
Yeah.
want to ask you is that within that short period of time, how did you attract all those high net worth individuals to patronize what you're doing? What were they based on recommendations or something like that? Because I believe that that's one of the things that many people, are interested in asking you tonight.
I mean, working with the high net worth individuals, I must say I feel overwhelmed because the grace of God has been very evident in my life. Um, is really the grace of God. I mean, it was a move of God in my life. It wasn't because I was strategic or I was calculated or I was, or I knew people I was connected. It was just the grace of God that, it's something I've desired, and I was fortunate enough to be on the same flight with Oga Idongesit, which most of us know as image faculty. On a flight, when I finished my NYC, my last flight from Bauchi to Jos, I showed him my portfolio and he said the only feedback he gave me was I should try and shoot the right people. And in summary, what he meant was that, you know, shooting high net worth individuals that the trust people have in their brand would allow people to actually see my own artistry as well. So I feel like that was ordained. I feel like that was ordained by God, and I feel like God used him to speak to me because I had a different plan coming back to Lagos. Coming back to Lagos, I was supposed to just do business as usual. But when he said, these are the kind of people that you should really, really go after if you want your work to be noticed. And I came to Lagos, I just took his word as the word of God for me. And I started actively reaching out to these guys, sending emails, attending meetings, just trying to get them to notice myself, my work, my brand. And I got a few of them that way. I think maybe out of 30 messages I sent, I got one call back. But when I got that one call back, I gave it my best shot. Do you understand? I gave it my best. And from there, from those series of works, um, referrals started coming. Referrals started coming. So I'll say that 90% of my work, my clients come from referrals. Oh, somebody that I've worked with, that, you know, word of mouth. And then it doesn't want me, maybe last year or 2 years ago, that my website and my Instagram and, all these other places that we push our work to started. But I think at the initial part, the initial boost that my work had was from word of mouth.
Wow, wow. Well, I think I've picked two lessons from what you said today. Learn from the best closest to you, because sometimes people may not really have access to the best person in the industry. And
Mm,
I like the balance that learn from the best, the person that is the best person that is the closest to you, and from there you can
yeah,
keep upgrading yourself. So when you went
true.
after this high network guy, did they pay you, or was it a free service you offered them when you were starting out?
I mean, I was the one that reached out to some of these guys, and thank you tokens here and there. But what that did was that it made a statement of, oh, we are here and we offer premium and our work is good. I mean, while I was doing that, we were still getting paid jobs, right? But there was a validation that came on our work, and there was more trust. People could, feel that, oh, if you could shoot this celebrity, or if this celebrity could allow you shoot them, that means you know what you're doing, right? So we got more paid jobs because of those, for lack of better words, endorsements, right? And then, so most of those shoots at the beginning was not paid. Everything is not always about money. We needed to make our mark in the industry. We needed to make noise in a very busy market. So money was not exchanging hands at first. But when we started maximizing those relationships, um, by the grace of God, the money started coming in.
Wow, wow. And do you think that this principle is applicable to everybody, regardless of their industry?
I don't know. I can only really speak for myself in this scenario. I don't know, but I know that if you're going to break into any industry, I would recommend, this is my own personal opinion, that do not seek money first. No, state value first. Let people know the problems that you can solve. Let people know the solution that you bring. Solidify yourself in the mind of people as with the value that you offer. Let your name be synonymous with the value that you offer in the market that you're looking at, right? Build trust for your brand. Do you understand? And I feel that when some of these things are in place, and you allow the Holy Spirit to breathe on your work, I think it's only a matter of time. But money is just a byproduct of excellence.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. So I don't know how many minutes we have left, because you're in the middle of a work. How many minutes do we have left?
I mean, let's still keep going. It doesn't look like my client is changing the outfit,
Okay.
so we can still
So
keep
now
going.
let's put religion aside a bit, okay? And for those
I
who are
can't.
saying,
Oh,
I'm also a pastor.
I'm not sure I can put my faith aside.
No, 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 no,
It's who I
no, no.
am.
You know what I mean? But I want us to look at some other practical aspects. But the question I want to ask you now, actually, is the fact that I want to ask you a question that, because I can see quite a number of photographers on this call, and of course, a lot of people are looking up to you. Some people might not have the privilege to have listened to you. That how did this guy do it? Aside from quality service, now you as a person, you have this energetic spirit. Nobody comes around you. Anyone that comes around you will actually want to be around you. Do you actually think that this must have actually influenced? Because I want to ask that, what really makes you so exceptional? Because I know you were going to maybe talk about grace and all of that. I just want us to, let's talk business. I'm not saying you should put God aside or faith aside. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Of course, you don't have a pastor
Okay.
as well.
I think
Yeah. Like
I think
this.
what makes me I think I think what makes me exceptional is the grace of God.
I saw what you
is the
did
grace of
there.
God. Is
Wow, wow.
is either the grace of God or the grace of God. I mean, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, we're also addressing the marketplace, but
yeah.
for me, it's always I would always attribute whatever it is I become to the grace of God, right? And I think when it comes to dealing with human beings, I think you must just genuinely be interested in people. I think you must be the kind of person that, one, you're true to yourself. So I let me give you a short story. I had an assistant once who is my I think is my best guy. For those of you that know him, his name is Ife Agbola. You should check him out. Amazing guy. He's quite an introverted person. He's more of an introvert. He's not as sparky, as sanguine as I am. So there was a day he was having a shoot in the studio, and I just heard him saying, "Yes, yes, that's it. Give me, take it." Talent. It felt so. I let him finish his shoot. I just called him. I said, "Okay, no, 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 you don't have to do that." It felt so forced. It felt so unoriginal. That isn't you. The goal is to get the client comfortable, get get them comfortable in the environment, make them comfortable about themselves, right? Make them feel good, celebrate them. You don't have to do those things the way I will do it, right? Looking at talking about the marketplace now. Johnny Drill has a different way of connecting to his audience at his concerts. If you go to Johnny's room live, he has a way of connecting with his audience. And if you see Portable has a different way of connecting to his audience. So these are people that are artists and they're doing the same thing. As an artist, you must learn how to use your stage and you must learn how to connect with your audience, right? Those are the things that you must do to be a solid entertainer, right? But we all can do it the same way. So different personalities, different stories, different brands, different niches, different markets. But you can't I can't do everything. I mean, there is this person that I love so much. He's a photographer, and I always say that I doubt he knows how much I love him. Emmanuel Eleke. This guy does amazing work, and he's a very quiet guy, very cool guy. Excellence, mastery. I mean, you don't see him jumping around the way I would, right? So is whatever gets you there, whatever creates that atmosphere that you want to create for your client. And mind you, there are times when I'm shooting and I instruct everybody to be quiet, music off. I want absolute silence, not a pin should be dropped, because I want to take the client somewhere. So it's not always, jumpy. David, are you there?
Yes, I think we lost you for a few seconds.
Where did you find me at last at?
Yeah, you were talking about you want everywhere to be quiet, no noise
Yeah, yeah,
because you're
yeah. So yeah, there are times I want everywhere to be quiet, no noise, because the mood I want in the image starts from the room, right? So we are all peculiar in our own different ways. I feel like once every artist can, just embrace who they are as individuals, I feel like the excellence in our work first stems from the originality of our identity. Mm.
wow, wow. So
Yeah.
basically you don't have to copy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so basically, I like what you said. You don't have to copy, another person. You need to find your uniqueness. You need to express your personality, and there is no bad or good personality. You don't have to, try to copy and all of those things. I think I like that. I like the things that you
You can have a bad personality, I mean, there's just no bad temperament, right? But you
Okay,
can
okay,
really have a
okay,
nasty
okay,
personality. So let your
okay.
personality be good. Let people feel good around you, but there is no bad temperament.
Okay, okay, great, 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 great. So, talking about money, talking about money, when you started charging,
I don't
why
like
did you
talking
change
about
your
money.
answer? There is no, we
I
can't
don't
talk
like
about
talking about
other
money.
things without money.
I don't like talking about money.
So I know that there is this thing that, oh, I like what I'm doing, I'm passionate about this thing and all of that. But I know that every entrepreneur actually go through that stage where the reward they are getting may not be monetary. It may be a good, recommendation and all of that. How do you navigate those seasons? Maybe I don't know if your dad probably gave you some amount of money. I know some people have leverage. Some people have leverage. Some people are privileged. I don't know if you have that kind of privilege. If your dad is very rich, and while you were not making the money, he was just sending you money. How did you navigate that space? And the second one would be that when you start charging high, when you started charging very high, where did your confidence come from that people will pay for this thing? At least before you
Well,
start attracting those people. Yeah. Talking
okay.
about
So,
pricing now.
first things first. How did I handle the dry spell when the money wasn't coming in when we just started? One, like I said to people, I mean, when by the grace of God, we won the Future Awards for prize for photography. And when I was giving my acceptance speech, I said sometimes I wish I sold gala on the streets of Lagos, hawked pure water, rat poison, to just make the hustle story sound real, like I suffered. But God just didn't let it
Yeah,
go that way. I come from a middle class family. My dad was a lecturer in a college, was a federal nursing officer. We had basically everything we needed growing up. We didn't lack money, we didn't lack God.
okay.
But so when I started, you know, support me fully. They gave me some amount of money to buy my first set of equipment, which was only enough to get me an accommodation, a two-bedroom apartment. I was able to get a camera and a lens, two speed lights, and I think one soft box or so, and a few tripod stands, which was like the basic thing I needed to get. Right. So, and then I was able to buy a generator, a television, and I think that was it. That was when the money finished. Right. So I can say I had some kind of springboard that helped me start, and I'm so grateful to my parents for that. I'm honored. I'm grateful to God to have that kind of privilege, because I know that kind of privilege isn't afforded to. So, but every other thing that came after that, and the grace of God, it wasn't like we didn't have our own bad days. We had some really nasty days. Ife and I would be in the room, and we wouldn't have would not eat for a whole day. But one way or the other, God will just send some in Lagos. When Sapa owe you, you will call home. He said, "Can you still hear me?"
Yes, I can hear you. I wanted to confirm if the network issue is coming from my own hand or from your hand.
You
I'm
want what?
losing you at internet.
I don't know. I think the viewers should be the one to let us know that, because I can't tell, you can't tell. So guys that are listening to us, if you are watching and you can't hear us,
If you can hear us
please just
properly,
um
can you just give us a feedback in the comment section?
yeah, please, let's
Can
just
you
have
hear me?
feedback from the I can hear you, David, but I don't know if those over there can hear you.
Okay. Your video is also very
All right.
content.
So funny
Okay,
thing
guys, please can
about
you
it
drop
is
in the
that
comment section if you can hear us? Just put
it's
loud
clear. It's
and clear.
it's, it's clear at my own end. So I'll just keep going, anyways. It's from
Okay.
my end.
He said,
Okay. So
okay, fantastic.
is it better now?
Okay. Yes, I think it's better now. Yeah, I think it's
All
better.
right. So what I was saying is sometimes I
What would be
wish
your advice to people who don't have this kind of privilege?
pardon. All right. So you said what?
I said, what would be your advice to entrepreneurs that don't have that kind of privilege or leverage, to start
I
something?
mean,
Some people want to get into
for
camera, they can't even afford it. What would you say to them?
one, pray to God. Pray to
Okay.
God. Pray. Pray to God to send you help, right? And then look at your hands. What do you mean? If you don't have any equipment in your hands, look beside you. Who has what you need? So some of us don't have the things that are necessary for us to start with, and then you have bad attitude too. You don't have good people skills. The Yorubas have a saying that goes in me, which means that
Yeah.
human beings clothe me. They are my clothes. Meaning, if you do not have people around you, then you are naked. So if you don't have equipment, you don't have these, you don't have that, check around. God is not too wicked a father to not leave you with anything that you can grow. It might be that one relationship that you have to nurture that will take you to where you need. I mean, don't get me twisted though. When I started, apart from the fact that yes, my parents gave me a few things to start with, they didn't give me all. It couldn't get me everything I needed. I had to leverage on relationships. I didn't have a studio. I would have to speak to my friends. Hey, guy, Alpha, can I quickly come and do this at your hand? And then when I discovered that a lot of them were, cherish their privacy, I started making the best use of my tiny space. That's why I tell people, Yemi King Studios, we can shoot anywhere, anywhere, as long as we have enough space to put one soft box. We can shoot anywhere because I had this tiny living room. Those who know me, and I created some of my best works till date there. So it's about many of us are too focused on what we don't have that we do not look at what we have. There is a book that was written by Pastor Sam Adeyemi, which was titled "What Do You Have in Your Hands?" Moses was going to, part the Red Sea, and he was asking, said, "What do you have in your hands?" When he was going to,
Yeah.
face the wizards of
Can we type
Pharaoh,
comment section? What do you have in your hand? Everybody, let's go. What do you have in your hands? What do you have in your hand? This may
it's
be
all
a
about what
discovery
do
to
you have.
somebody.
What do you have
What
in
do you
your
have
hands? In
in
the
your hand?
parable of the talents, the master gave unto one 5. He gave another one 3, right? And he gave another one just 1. That's God saying, "Look, I'm never going to leave you with nothing." So there will be something in your hand. There is a little ember that you can fan to flame. I remember when I first called one of my mentors, Mr. Shinwa Kisomi, and I was complaining to him that, "Oh, sir, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this." He said, "Do you have a camera phone?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Have you ever gone onto the streets of Lagos, taking pictures with that camera phone, gone to a studio, print it, frame it, and attempt to sell it?" I said, "No." Because many of us are always focused on that person that we feel is in our family that should help us, that is not helping us. Many of us are just too entitled to what other people have, forgetting that they also have responsibilities and bills, right? Forgetting that they also have things that they are planning towards, that what they have in their own hands is not enough. So many of us are busy looking at other people's hands for resources that we are so blind to what we have in our own hands. So I'm a firm advocate of looking at what do you have in your hands, what can you grow. Look at the relationships around you, look at the people around you. If you don't have camera, make friends with somebody that does. If you don't have a studio, make and offer value in return, because there's a difference between making use of people and using people. Using people is you drawing resources from them, withholding yours and giving nothing back, where making use of people is maximizing relationships in such a way that what is in your hands, you give it to benefit them so that you can also have access to what is in their hands. It is just a simple values. So many times, more often than not, people are always focused on what is not in their hands, that is in the hands of other people. And they still feel like because other people have, that's why they don't. You won't grow in life that way. So basically, take a step back, take your eyes away from what you lack, and then ask, what is this little thing that I have with me? What is this little thing that I have that I can grow? Some of you might just be that you know how to convince people. You can convince them to borrow your camera. Convince them to. I mean, I've borrowed model from a shoot before. I went on my friend's set, and while they were busy setting up, I said, "Can I quickly shoot your model?" With his camera, with his everything. I set the light, I did everything, created my own images, and then I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have anything. I copied it to his system and used the USB cable to put those images on my phone. I didn't have a laptop then. I put on my memory card on my phone, I had Photoshop set up. So I will just connect my phone or my flash drive to your system. I will install Photoshop on your system, use your system to edit my pictures and save it back on my phone. Right? Many of us just always feel like until we have this and this and this and this. No, that five loaves and two fishes in your hands is exactly what God is going to use to feed the multitude in your life. So stop looking out and look inwards. God is not that wicked to leave you stranded with nothing.
Wow, wow, wow. So I hope you are not going to tell me that you are not called into ministry.
No, I'm not a pastor. I'm just
Maybe
kidding.
you've not found out yet.
Don't worry, I know my ministry.
So,
So you asked two
all right.
questions. What was the
So
second one again?
yeah, the second one was talking about it. It was about money. It was about money and the price, the way you started charging.
Okay,
How did you
okay.
overcome?
So the pricing grew. I mean, when I was serving in Bauchi, I was arguably the most expensive photographer in Bauchi. This was 2018. About how many years ago was that, Ogawale? 2018. 5 years ago, right? I was the most expensive photographer in the state. I was charging 4,000 naira per session. Don't try me, right?
I thought you
Yeah,
already said $4,000.
for $4,000. No. Then no, we couldn't charge that high, right?
Wow,
I was charging four
wow.
thousand naira, and it wasn't. That was luxury photography, and mind you, this was after I'd learned photography for 3 years. So 4,000 naira then was luxury photography. I mean, I'm not trying to sound as if I really suffered. I was getting jobs in Lagos, 100,000 naira, 120, 150, would fly in, fly out. And another thing I did to keep my clients in Lagos was that most of my clients didn't know I was not in Lagos, right? So sometimes the entire budget of the shoot I'll spend on my flight in and out of Bauchi, but because I needed to keep working with them, and so that they won't lose trust in the brand due to proximity, or lack of proximity. So I was doing that, and when I came back to Lagos, we were doing, say, 50,000 naira per session, right? And when at a point I think we increased it to 70, then the time we increased it to 150. No, it was still like that. We're in between 50 70, depending on how the SACPA owed us and the negotiating power of the client, right? And then thank God for mentors in my life, and I spoke with a few of my mentors, especially Ty Bello. I was like, no, bro. Sometimes you don't know the value of what you're doing as an artist because you're just enjoying creating work. And then she opened my eyes to really see the value of what I was doing, because I was doing it for the passion of it. And as one of my guys here will say, you say I'm not a passionate photographer. I'm a business photographer. So um, and uh, we started understanding the value of what we did, and then we started increasing the rates accordingly. Systematically, we're increasing it, and yeah, we lost many clients and we gained new ones. We had clients insult us and saying, how dare you charge that kind of money? Who do you think you are you TY Bello? And they will know that it's even the same TY that said we should up our rate. And and then we kept increasing it, we kept building that confidence, we kept increasing it, we kept building it. And there are times I would feel like I don't deserve to charge that kind of money. Imposter syndrome would come, and then I would have
Yeah, I want to,
mentors in
I
the
want to,
industry.
that part. I want to talk about it. That part.
Yeah, I felt like I'm just a boy from Osun State that just managed to know a few photography tricks. Do I really deserve to get paid this much? But yeah, I do. I've spent close to 6 years doing this thing. I learned. I did apprenticeship for 4 years. After 2 extra years in school, after a BSc, I learned photography hard for 4 years. That's one whole degree again, right? That's more like two master degrees. And yeah, I deserve to be here, coupled with some true affirmations that I give myself. And I've put in the work. I've put in the work, and the grace of God has crowned it with success. So I charge what I charge with confidence. So the confidence grew, right? And the confidence grows when one client pays you that money, right? I remember when we increased to 100,000 naira, a lot of people left. They felt like, oh, 100K for what? In this economy, get out. And then I had people that after they paid the 100K and we became tight, they said, Yemi, I even thought you were going to charge me like 500. We were ready, right? And I said, because would increase the rate again. The economy as well also forced us as inflation was happening. And then as my life grew and as demands grew on my purse, I got married to a beautiful woman. She got pregnant. We had a baby. We had to increase the staff. We had to get facilities. We started, those things forced us to increase our rates. And our rates were not just increasing alone, our works were getting better. The delivery tables were getting better, the artistry was growing, so we could justify what we were charging. And that's how we've been doing it. So we would increase it. Some few clients will go away, we'll get new ones that would pay us what we say we deserve, and some people will go. So even that cycle still happens till date. If we increase it, some people will go, some people will come, right? And so
Wow.
that's how we've been able to. So the confidence has grown over time. So when we increase the rate, and a lot of people go and say, because Kini, is it my head? I want to scrape all the dollar. I'll be like, some would even outrightly insult us, right? I understand. Money no dey your hand, right? But and people sometimes can make you feel like a scam, like a fraud, for charging what you are worth. Don't worry, people that are your own people would come and they will pay you what you say you are worth, right? But they're never going to pay you money that you don't charge. Nobody's ever going to pay you money you don't charge unless it's an angel in disguise. So the
Good price.
confidence has
Good
grown
price.
over time. So when they
So guys,
when they when they when they say, oh no, we are going, that's ridiculous, we cannot pay that. In my mind, I'm like, no be today. I beg, no we end this conversation. So person wey go pay go call my phone.
now people go come. Everybody typing, now people go come. Put value yourself. Now
My
people
own
will
people will
come. Now
call.
people will come. Now people will come. Now people will come. Wow, fantastic. Now, before we go, I would like some people to probably ask you a few questions before we go. I
All right,
think
in
I
case
saw
in
somebody.
case because I'm using my earpiece now and I can't plug and charge and use my earpiece at the same time, my phone can die any moment from now. Any moment
Time
from
for
now.
that.
Any moment
Okay.
from now.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So, what will you say that looking at young people, like yourself and the people that are younger, what mistake do you think they are making the most? Not just in photography now, generally in business. What do you think are the major problems of young people today? Because it's the reason we are here.
I feel like a lot of young guys nowadays are not patient at all. I understand that we live in a fast world now, and yes, young guys are moving stuff. But look, the principles of greatness has not changed. Patience is one of them. Honor is another one. Mentorship is there. I mean, it plays out differently now. In our own time, you have to physically sit at the feet of your mentor, right? Service is there. I mean, there are different ways that you can do it now. It doesn't always have to be the methods that we went through. And it's not like we want you to suffer like we did. But one thing is sure, greatness is not birthed from a place of comfort. There will be sacrifice. You have to pursue wisdom. You have to put in the work. You have to carry your own cross, right? No matter what you are, you have to carry your own cross, no matter how privileged you are. People say, oh, DJ Copy is not a good DJ. That's her cross because her father is a billionaire, right? Now she has to work twice as hard to prove to people that she's actually a good DJ. That thing has made her cry at night. That thing has really made her worry in her bed. Like, what else will I do to prove to you guys that I'm an artist, whether my father is a billionaire or not? So, last, everybody will carry their cross, right? You feel like people have it easy because they are privileged, right? There are people who their entire life they are scared of handling their father's businesses, and the father is handing over the business to them. Now they are sweating, they are having panic attacks, their life is a mess because they are trying not to make a mess of their inheritance. So last, everybody go carry their own cross. So you will still have to go through mentorship, you'll have to go through discipleship, you would have to pursue wisdom, you'd have to pursue excellence, you would have to exert diligence, you will have to make sacrifices, you would have to go through it. Everybody will chop the breakfast. It's just that it's the delicacies that are different. I feel like a lot of these young guys coming just feel like, oh, the principles of success have gone with our own generation, or that's so old school. You will fail. Even if you start that fintech company and they buy it for $2 billion, if you have not learned financial wisdom, you will waste it. And then
Yes.
you'll be like, oh yeah, we tech startup, can call easy money, but you will waste it. You will not be able to build it into a legacy, right? So you still have to let. As I was setting up today, my oga that has hung camera years ago was still correcting my lighting. It was still correcting my
Wow.
setup. It was still correcting us here. I should now say that I'm Yemi Kings, future award winner. You died there. And elders will just keep quiet. They won't some the people that God will send to you that will really help you, they won't advise you twice. So be doing coconut head, be forming Gen Z, and not listen to the voice of wisdom. Wabambe.
Wow. Wow. So let us take questions from. I will not take questions that I feel that we have answered in the course of the conversation. Okay. So he said, somebody is saying, so I would love to ask, what was the biggest challenge when starting out, and how did you overcome that? What was the greatest challenge?
For a little longer. And my phone is about to die. I'm trying to plug it in.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, all right. I'm actually plugged it. I'm actually standing, plugged into my phone.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is
God,
really, 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 really.
it's shaking. It's shaking and it's about to die. Okay. Yeah. I'm plugged in now. See, I'm actually squatting just to make sure that I can remain here.
Can we
Yeah,
celebrate
please
Yemi
give me a
Kings,
space
everybody?
even
Can you
if I'm
celebrate
speaking
Yemi Kings?
or a
Just
box.
type in the comment section, Yemi Kings, we love you, I love you, I love you. Can we show some love in the comment section, guys? Can we show some love in the comment section?
Let's see if
Just
I
type,
can sit
type,
on it.
type, type, type.
Okay,
Somebody
let me
said,
see if
don't
I
plug your
can sit on
phone.
this. Okay, I'm fine.
Of course.
I'm fine now.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually needed to come plug my phone
All
somewhere.
right.
Come on, and hook to the wall.
Okay. So somebody was asking, a question about mentorship. About mentorship. How do people assess your mentorship? Because I know
How do
people
I work?
around that wants to get close to you, but looks like they've not been able to do that. How do young people access your mentorship?
Okay, so we currently, by the grace of God, we run the largest photography mentorship platform in Africa. So you can
Okay.
join. I think there is a link to I think there's still a link on my bio that takes you to the one of the Telegram. So we split it into, different pages. So, but if you join, I think there's a link on my Telegram, on my Instagram bio. Kindly follow and then click on the link. It will take you to that Telegram page. You should be added to one of the pages. So I think we meet Mondays every 8 p.m. Mondays 8 p.m. We just ask questions, and then I'm able to address the community better that way. We spend like 2-3 hours just sharing.
Wow. That's great. That's great. That's great. So as we round off, I know that I've taken much more than what we bargained for. As we round off, do you think that there is a conflict between faith and what you do, your business, or do you think it's a separate life altogether? You personally, what do you think about it? Because I know a lot of people are doing what you're doing, but they don't have the solid life, the faith life that you have. And some people are here today. The God factor is not so important and all of that. I know this is not a religious platform, but I know that from every of your conversations, you have refused to shy away from the fact that the grace of God was one of the major forces behind your success and all of that. So, what would you like to say to that? Do you think you're a separate person because you are still much relevant, in the faith circle? You are getting better at your work, and I know that you probably must have noticed this, that many of us, Christians and faith guys, when it comes to excellence, it's not something that you easily, attach to the faith people. Thank God for people like you. What would you like to say about that before we go?
Okay. Firstly, I'm going to respond to that with the scripture. We are who we are by the grace of God, right? We are who we are by the grace of God. I personally don't separate my faith from my life, because whatever I'm put here on earth for a very brief period. See all these things that we are chasing in this life. I mean, if people ask why my work is excellent the way it is, it's spiritual, because Jesus taught us to be excellent, right? The spirit of excellence is the spirit of Christ. So true Christians are actually instructed to be excellent. So you can't say that because you're a Christian, you're going to do anything wishy-washy. Christ, while he walked here on earth, was an excellent man. He was excellent in everything that he did. Excellence personified. So if we claim to be Christians that we are, then excellence should not be far from whatever it is that we are doing. So for me, I feel like I'm put here on earth for how long will I be here again? Say 90 years. I'm not even sure I want to do up to 90. Maybe max 70, 80 years. I packed up my stuff and I'm going back to meet Jesus. Right? So I have yeah, but no. I'm not even sure I have up to 70 years again. Like 50, I'm back 50, 60 years, I'm out of here. Right? I don't mean of age. I mean 50 years from now, 60 years from now, I'm out of I'm out of here. So basically, I have a boss to report to. I have a creator to report to, and even if I spend 100 years here on earth, is nothing. Is nothing compared to eternity. Me, I'm going to heaven. No, all this photography, business, creativity, Nigeria, UK, Canada, blah 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 blah. That all of gbogbo shit gbogbo wa ń bá káàkiri bí báyìí. Èmi lọ́run tèmi lọ́n tèmi o. So our time here is very short, and it is that period that will determine where eternity will be. The time we spend here is nothing, absolutely incomparable. Is an insult to even try and compare, no matter how much. You can't compare anything with eternity. If they said heaven or hellfire will be 6 billion years, I'm a lọ́jọ́ kan máa tán. Mo kò ní tán o. Have you had boil for 2 weeks before? It's going to be hell. Have you had constipation for 3 days before? It's hell.
Wow.
So you can't imagine the pain that you will face if you miss heaven. So me, because I want to do something here on earth, I will now use that one to spoil the heaven that me I'm going. I have plenty questions to ask Jesus. Do you understand? Do you get? Me and the guy we get plenty talk. I don't like pain. I don't like it. So if somebody has said I came to this life and I saved you from all of that, just do this, do this, do this, do this. Me, I'm going to do that too. So the photography I'm doing is not what will send me to hellfire. That's where I'm going to. Right? Uh-uh. Thank you, Jesus. Allah just said that. Anywho. See, as I'm talking about heaven, let me tell you something. If you didn't see the alert, see, come and see. Is that alert? I'll tell you that is going to enter. Can you see that heaven has a way of rewarding me? He pays to serve Jesus.
Wow. It's been an awesome time. It's been an awesome time.
So
if you
wrapping up,
Yemi King's 5 rules.
Let me tell you something. David,
okay.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Because I have heaven that I'm going to. I'm not going to mess up that with earth here. I'm not. Whatever it is I'm doing, I'm not going to mess. So whatever I know that is not going to make my Lord and Savior happy. Do you understand? Photography ló là ń pa pátápátá ìlú la fẹ́ pa láyé ọ̀run ní ilé ayé ni àmúlẹ̀mọ́fò àfọ́bà filẹ̀. Do you understand? Àwa sọ ilé ayé di àwa máa lọ ìgbà mélòó la máa lọ ilé ayé náà wọ ṣẹ́ẹ̀tì onírin ó futu ẹ̀ asán láyé. Do you understand? ọ̀run là ń lọ. So when I see Christians compromise their faith, I just look at them and I shake my head. The most expensive shoot I've done this year came from church. The first time our business was going to break into 7 figures, that someone was going to pay us 7 figures for the very first time ever. The person called me and said, Yemi, and I'm going to close with this. The person called me, said, Yemi, my name is so I want to book you for my 40th birthday. Said my friends are going to make jest of me because I'm using you. They expect me to go and use some other top shot photographer. I said, so why are you now? Why do you want to use me? He said, because you like Jesus. I can see the way you used to do. Because you like Jesus. That's why we got our first 1 million. I was just like, because I like Jesus. Man, like Jesus. Man, like Jesus. Do you understand? My like Jesus not my pay me sinning, man. Do you understand? Because only me atola. Do you understand? Only me ajibo. I don't have 2 things that I do. So Jesus blesses me. I will be a fool to not serve him with all my heart. So that's just it.
Wow. I love this perspective. Thank you so much.
And like I always say, smart guys serve Jesus. That's the biggest OT. Serve Jesus. Use your skills. Just serve Jesus. I don't know what's wrong with him. Very simple thing. Just easy.
I don't miss you. Wow, thank you so much. So as we close, let's use this as somebody was asking a question. I don't want to before we go, first of all, I am David Oyele. I'm a corporate trainer. I provide human capacity development for corporate organizations, educational institutions, and individuals. I do private coaching for people who like to scale their productivity and to accelerate their performance. And one of the ways I do this actually to contribute my quota to entrepreneurship development in Africa is to create this show. And we have featured a lot of quality top leaders, brands, across in Africa. We are still even going beyond Africa. And this program is actually based on the book that I published a few months ago. It's called The Business of Your Gate. I believe that God has given us something that we can always start with. We may not end with it, but it is something that we can always start with it. Remember what Yemi King said. Something in your hand. And I can recall a similar phrase is also in that book. In fact, Yemi Kings, you were one of the people that reviewed the book, and I was so very honored to to be able to get you to review the book. So if you would like to get a copy of the book, you can just go to my website, www.davidoyeleye.com. All right, or just tap the link in my bio and just follow me on Instagram. Follow me, and you can see some of the things that I do. So
I mean,
before, what is to say something?
David, can I talk about your book? Can I talk about your book briefly?
Talk about my book. now when you come here, talk about my book. I mean.
The business of your talent is for me, I feel like it's like a book that is sent to creatives at this period, right?
Yeah.
I used to tell a lot of people that David, I want you to know that you wrote that book inspired by God, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of creatives in Nigeria understand the work, but they don't understand the trade. Wọ́n kọ́ iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ṣùgbọ́n wọn kọ́ òwò ẹ̀ mọ́. Ìyàtọ̀ wà ní iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti iṣẹ́ òwò. The òwò of the iṣẹ́ ọwọ́, the trade of your craft is something that you need to understand. That's why you will see amazingly fantastic artists. Their career will start and finish under the bridge at Ikeja along. Right? You will see them draw at bus stops, the fantastic, realistic, hyper-realistic paintings, but they can never scale it. And then you go to galleries, and then you're looking at the exhibitions. You're like, Kilili, you can't make the head or tail. They'll say it's heart. I mean, kudos to every artist out there. I mean, everybody's putting in the work. But in the context of what I'm saying, you see people that are trying to, do this thing, and then you discover that, bro, if you understand the business and trade of the creative industry, you will not sweat as much as you're already sweating. You will expend this same amount of energy in a slightly different direction, and you're going to have massively different results. So a lot of creatives are running 1,000,000 miles per hour in the wrong direction. So much power, so much energy, but the moment you miss the lane, man, right? You chop grass, you can never make it. You are gonna end up in McDonald's, right? So I feel like every creative out there that wants to understand, he really, really broke it down. I think you should go get David's book. It's a fantastic book.
Wow.
I can't talk about it anymore. It's just go get a book and read it.
Wow. So guys, just like Yemi Kings has said, that's one of the major loophole for many people. So many people are good at cooking, but that's not what is going to determine if you're going to succeed in what you're doing. If you're into consulting, you need to understand the business of consulting. You need to understand the business of your talent. You need to understand the business of your skill. So these are the things that I package in this book, and I believe that this is a book that has been sent, to Africa at this particular time, because we have a lot of gifted people. We have a lot of talented people. How can you take your gift to the next level? How can you build a business around your gift? Not just make you money, but something that can create, relevance, that can create relevance for you. So if you like to get a copy, all right, you can go to my website, www.davidoyeleye.com, or just even send me a DM. I don't mind. Choke me with the orders. My team and I will get a book across to you wherever you are in the world. You can also order on Amazon. If you're outside Nigeria, you just go to Amazon. You can order the book and have the book delivered to you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, this program is powered by Dollar Global. Dollar Global is a leadership and enterprise development organization, and what we do is actually to help people to discover, to develop, and actually to deploy their potential, basically. And we run soft skills program. I heard this somewhere, and I'm going to say this to entrepreneurs and people that are looking for jobs, that employers hire for technical skills, but employers fire for lack of soft skills. Employers, they hire for technical skills, but they fire you because you lack soft skills. And this is the major focus that we have at Dollar Global. We are focusing more on soft skills like leadership development, critical thinking, collaboration, all right, personal branding. These are some of the things that you will learn. I also have a book that can help you, to build your personal brand. That one is completely free. Of course, you can give us a gift. All right, there is details in the book. You can go to my website as well and get the book, and that is Brand and Sell You. Thank you so much. I would like to connect with you guys. I create valuable content that can accelerate your growth, improve your performance, and help your work. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Please, can we celebrate Yemi? Can we celebrate Yemi? Yemi, I love you. Yemi, I love you. Yemi, I love you.
Love you
Thank you
guys.
so much. I really
You're
appreciate this.
welcome.
I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
God
So
bless
if you are
you.
planning,
Stay blessed, my brother.
see at the top, guys. Thank you. I celebrate you and have a great shot. So guys, that was Yemi King. That's the lead creative of Yemi King Studio. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. And I strongly believe that you are going to apply these lessons that you have learned today. Don't chase money first, okay? Value learning, value learning above money, value learning above earning, okay? If you want to learn, make sure you learn from the best. There is always the best person that is closest to you. Start from there. Don't learn from the worst person. These are some of the things that will improve your performance. Your mentors, your mentors are a lead on your performance. So guys, follow me on Instagram. I'll be creating content, developing content that will help your business, help your work, and all of that. Someone was asking a question. Damilola, you say, my question was not answered. What was your question? What was your question, Damilola? I'm sorry for missing that. What was your question? Can you please type the question before we go? I am very, very sorry for that. If your question was missed, I'm very sorry for that. I believe you have another opportunity to be able to ask your question again. So if you don't mind, you can just drop the question if it's something that I can attend to based on what he has said so far. So guys, thank you so much. I love you guys. This is Business of Your Gift show, and we'll be back in the next few weeks. Bye for now. Bye for now. I love you all. Thanks for joining today. God bless you.